All right. Let me double check this. Make sure everything's working correctly. I'm running something different this time. So just double checking that it's working correctly. All righty. Okay. That should be good. All right. What's up, Zap Snow? Zedvi? I don't know how to say your name. How is it going? Yeah, I'm here. All right. They do show up there. Perfect. So we're going to wait a minute to get started with this until maybe one or two more people get here. What's up, Fresh Kenny? I don't know you. Welcome. And whenever, so if you guys have any questions right now, I can answer them real fast before we get started on the recall. Hi, Panzer. How's it going? Snorlax, welcome, welcome. You have your YouTube set up like that. That's on you. You can change your name and your profile on YouTube pretty easily. Yep, StreamYard. Yeah, I usually I'm on a Chromebook, and so I needed to use something in browser. If this works well, then I'll probably be buying the full version, which will work well with my green screen and all that stuff I've got to set up this month or this week. So, alrighty. Check this out, though. I got banners for this. Boom. Dream Recall. So, that's about as legitimate as you can get right there. I look like I'm on TV. But yeah, so we're going to be talking about Dream Recall today. Actually, there's also a good chance that I'm going to need to go get my dog one or two times during this. It should only take a second. He just gets into things. He's a puppy. I am going to go run and grab him real fast. Yeah, the banner is ridiculous. They have better ones that you can get if you pay, but that's the free version. So I will be right back. Give me 30 seconds. Okay, so Dream Recall, the way that it's set up is that everyone is at some level of dream recall, whether you're at 0 or whether you're at remembering every single dream throughout your night, every single night. Now, this is good because that means that I can just say, hey, this is, oh, man, it's all backwards. This is, you're going from here to here. So let's go ahead and talk about I'd say where most people are at, and then we'll move backwards, and then we'll move back forwards from there. So most people remember a dream every once in a while. And if they try to remember dreams, they're going to remember 1 or 2 or 3 a week. This is where most people are at when they start lucid dreaming. I think that this is not just where we're at, but it's also like, it's just the easiest place to start learning. So we say, oh, just when you get a dream journal it. And it kicks in for like 99% of people because they dream journal it. That attention to the dream makes it to where their mind says, oh, trying to remember more dreams, sweet. Let's remember more dreams. So they remember more and more dreams. It's a simple place to start out at. So I like that because I feel like it's simple, and we just tell people, hey, start a dream journal. And we've been telling people that for years. Start a dream journal and you'll start remembering more dreams. That's what I told my children, was just, hey, you can start a dream journal. And they started writing dreams in it and understanding their dreams a lot more immediately. So, yeah. Then we go on to like the next part, which is, I want people to remember not just 1 dream a night, not just 2, but like, if you can remember 6 or 7 dreams a night, you're going to be, doing great at lucid dreaming. It's going to be easy for you. If you're good at dreaming, then lucid dreaming is going to be pretty easy. So I always recommend people get more and more. And so I recommend things like intention before bed, and rereading your dream journal, rewriting your dream journal, waking up through the night at your, during your awakenings, and actually remembering them, writing down dreams during them. But this is where I start losing people, is because people say, well, why can't I just dream journal and have it go good? And what happens with a lot of people is they'll start dream journaling and they'll start getting 1 or 2 dreams a night. And those 0, 1 or 2 dreams will be broken into fragments. So it'll look like 0 through like 4 or 5 dreams a night. And they'll just get stuck there because they're not putting enough effort to break through to the next level. And if they did put that effort, then later on they could lower the effort quite a bit and still get tons of results after they've leveled up. But because their only effort is dream journaling, for 10, 15 minutes a day, that means that they're only going to gain so much experience every day, and the learning curve is going to keep going up, and then it'll even out. And that's about where it evens out, is 0 through 3 dreams a night, I think. And your goal should be to, never have any nights without a dream. You really want dreams. So I'd say for most people, really what they need to do is just put more energy into remembering their dreams. And this doesn't mean writing down more dreams. It can mean writing down more dreams. It's very good to do that. But what it can also mean is just rereading your dreams before bed, thinking about your dreams. Like if you have a bunch of chores to do, just, read your dreams right before them and think about them during it. The attention that you spend thinking about your dreams specifically, not what you want your dreams to be and not other people's dreams, your dreams. That's the type of recall you're going to get. And whenever you get better and better, you'll level up and you can just increase your dream recall really easily. But we'll talk about that in a bit. But you need to level up to get there. In order to level up, you've got to put in the time, put in the work, put in the hours. All right. Any comments about that level that people are at? I think that level is also where you start seeing 1 lucid dream every week or every other week, every few weeks. Is, you start at a pretty low level, but then if you just dream journal, you just think about your dreams a bit more, and it'll get to a point where you can remember dreams pretty well. Some dreams every night, some nights no dreams. And so I think that's an easy level to get to. All right, real fast. Panzer, I'm sending you a message. Oh wait, not Panzer. Well, never mind. I was going to send Panzer a message. Can't do that. He can't help me. No questions, or are my comments not working? Because it's been a few minutes. I know it's like a minute delay, and I was trying to take that off, but I didn't. All right, I'm going to say there's no questions, or I cannot see the questions. Let me double check and make sure this is working, because I'm using it on StreamYard, so I just don't trust it at all to show me the things it needs to show me. Maybe I'm just an old man who doesn't trust technology. That could be. No questions. Okay, thanks, Flesh Roots. I still don't like your name very much, but I will deal with it. So next thing we're going to look at is what to do if you have 0 dream recall. You start out, and I think I've talked to a lot of people recently that they're just like, they're working on dream recall, and they just like, they had no dreams their entire life, and then they start trying to remember dreams, and then they'll get like 1 a week, or they'll get 2 a week, and they're just like, they're discouraged because they're not at the same starting point as everybody else. It feels like they're starting way down here. Now, I think there is going to be some positives for that and some negatives for that. It doesn't look like there are any positives, but I'll talk about a couple of them. Most people that don't remember their dreams, it's because they haven't had interest in their dreams before. And I think this is really important, is I think that what people don't understand is that, like, if you've never tried before, you've never failed, right? And so they're just beginning trying. And I think that idea that they're like, oh, I'm already failing. It's like, no, you haven't failed yet. You need to start putting in the time, putting in the effort, and it's going to take you a little bit longer, maybe, but they're also going to have not just like, because I don't have, like, to get from 0 to 1 dream a night, I actually don't know how to do that. I mean, I do theoretically from talking to people and trying to help them figure it out, but I don't know how to physically do that. If I woke up tomorrow morning and I didn't remember any dreams, I actually wouldn't know which part of my mind goes from 0 to 1 dreams. So there's part of my mind that I don't understand and I don't know because it was already automatic and I've never focused on it. So I think it's good for people to see that as, like, later on you're going to be able to have a deeper understanding than even I would on remembering dreams, since you're starting at a lower level. It's kind of like starting like an RPG character, and instead of starting at level 5 and you've got like some random stats, you're starting at level 1, and now you're going to have to level up from 1 to 5, but you actually get to pick where those stat points go, and you will have just kind of better control of your character overall, in my opinion. But what to do, right? Like, I didn't have that, so I just started dream journaling, and I started dream journaling, and I started waking through the night, and I started doing all of those things. But like, what to do if you? What's up, Chippertainment? What's up, DJ? You're always Chippertainment when you get on here. But like, what to do whenever you have 0 dreams, and this is something I think that a lot of people really. This is something that I'm going to say that doesn't say that does not it doesn't sound like something I would say, but like, let's say you have 0 dreams and you're trying and you're trying and you're trying, you can't remember dreams, and you've tried waking through the night and it doesn't work. All right, was that one or surgery? Right? Yeah, Fresh Kenny. That's normal. Like, I think the average person starts like that. Is intent that brought you from 0 to 1, right? So you, before bed, you were like, I really want to remember dreams, right? And so the things that I've been telling people to do, the first 2 are going to sound like me. I don't have a DJ Dreams YouTube name. Yeah, you should get the We Will Dream account. That way we can send people there. So the first thing I tell people to do is to wake up at different times, because it could be that they're waking up at the end of REM, and if they disrupt REM, it's going to be easier to remember dreams. That's actually how they were able to prove non-REM dreams existed, was they would wake people up during a time that was for sure NREM, and they would ask them if they were just dreaming, and they would say, yes, I was. What do you do when you lose motivation? Stop getting lucids and not remember dreams. How to gain that motivation back. Sleeping in a dark room helps you to remember dreams. So I don't know if sleeping in a dark room helps you remember dreams. That I don't have any data on. What do I do when I lose motivation, stop getting lucids, and remember dreams, and how to gain the motivation back? I would say, like, for me, it's hard because whenever I started lucid dreaming, my mindset said, I'm going to try this thing. I'm going to be really good at it, but it's going to be a ton of hard work. And so then I said, for 1 year, I'm going to try lucid dreaming every single night. And I don't care what happens or how I feel. That's 1 year. And so that's where I came up with June 12th. It's my June 12th theory, is that I just don't quit, right? Like, when I don't feel good about it, I do all the work anyways, because I know it's going to be hard. Now, if I want to quit, I can quit on June 12th. So What is interesting though is because I started on June 12th, and the way that my life kind of works out is like the hardest time for me is actually usually like March, April, or it was for a while whenever I was um, just doing different jobs and stuff like that. Right now, it shouldn't be that hard because my life is settled quite a bit. But then what would happen is like January, February, March, April, and I kept feeling terrible about dreams. And then May and June, I would feel amazing about dreams. And I'd be like, well, I can't quit now. I'm in the middle of like this amazing comeback of like feeling super great about my dreams all the time. So I would say pick a date and say, I'm going to do it till that date and just stick to it. Now your motivation, like I feel like motivation comes with practice. It comes with like actually doing things, right? It comes with, like getting interested in your dreams. Find some, like, what is it that you want to learn about your dreams? Can you actually start learning about that right now just through non-lucid dreams? Can you write those parts of dreams down, right? Like if you want to explore dreams, which a lot of people say, oh, I just want to explore and learn more about my dreams. Well, then dream journal more, like think about like, well, this is what the dream seemed to do. This is like, why would it do that? Where did that come from? Like get this idea in your head of what your dreams are like. And this interest in actually caring about your dreams will make it to where it carries off into your dreams a lot better. So 2 things to do. I would say waking through the night. Most people don't like doing that. Waking up at different times even. Just like set your alarm 10 minutes back, set your alarm 10 minutes forward, and see if that interrupts a dream. It's something I used to do whenever I wouldn't sleep at all at night when I was a kid, is I would be like, well, it seemed like as long as I slept in 2-hour increments, I would remember a dream or 2. And so I always made sure that I was sleeping in 2-hour increments. It helped for me, but I don't know if it was just all up in my head, but it helped. I created like a dream room, which was just my shower, but someone told me that seeing the color blue helps you remember dreams. My shower was blue, so every morning I'd wake up, I would go into my shower, and while I was in there, the dream would come back into my head. This was all before lucid dreaming. This was me as a kid thinking about my dreams. A kid being 15, 16. So, sorry, I am honestly like 100% getting over COVID. I had it last week. So that's what the coughing is. I'm not contagious. You guys aren't going to get it, but I'm still coughing a little bit. Like my throat was sore from that. So the other thing that you can do, and don't tell anybody that I told you this, but you can try supplements. I don't like supplements because I feel like the amount that they get you better versus like some of the side effects, I feel like they get you like this much better, right? Maybe on a good day. And that's only like vitamin B6 or galantamine. Right. So those seem to have a really good effect. But the effect, I think, is just like this. It's just like a tiny bit. Now, that's not a really good amount. Like I remember 6 dreams a night, 7 dreams a night, 5, 7 dreams a night, depending on how much I sleep, right? And so if I do that and then I take a pill that has a side effect and it gets me from, 7 dreams a night to remembering 7 dreams a night a little better, that's not good. But if I'm at 0 and all I need to do is just get some dreams in that dream journal, then maybe something like galantamine, something like waking up and taking some caffeine and going right back to sleep, 30 minutes before you wake up, things like that, or not 30 minutes, an hour or 2 before you generally wake up, things like that, they can affect your dreams and they might have negative side effects. You might not be able to sleep when you take galantamine or caffeine. Vitamin B6, I don't see any negative repercussions for that. So maybe just give that one a try if that's, what you're into. I don't like spending money on dreams, but that's really easy for me to say as somebody. Yes, you get diminishing returns if you use supplements daily. Yeah, that's another reason I don't like using them, because it's something that has a side effect, only helps a tiny bit, and diminishing returns. Not great whenever you're at a level where you're already getting dreams. And it's like, well, you could probably replace any supplement with 5 more minutes reading and thinking about your dreams a day. But if you don't have any dreams and you're at 0, then push it up. It might help. It might be a good thing for you. There's tea that helps with it too. A lot of these may just be something that will, help over time. Not help over time, but like help just get you in the right mindset. They might just be intent for lucid dreaming. Oh, I forgot to change this. Guys, check this out. What to do with no recall. Boom. It's beautiful. Oh, man. On the neurological stuff, you go over the recommended dose, which studies suggest is necessary for an effective. Really? See, I didn't know that. I had not heard that. Jonathan Seacrest. Okay, who are you? What's up, Aaron? I can't help you out, man. So that's something I haven't looked up, but I mean, if that's the case, then again, you can look at things like galantamine and those things. I don't know. Do the research for yourself because it's not something. Aurea, oh my gosh. That's funny. I did not know your name was Jonathan. Yeah, I will be posting the video as a stream, and it won't be just link. It'll be on the channel. My goal is to be doing this every single Tuesday at 1 o'clock. It's 1 o'clock for me. It's whatever your time is right now. Right now it's 1:20. Anyways, I feel like I knew your name was Jonathan, but I forgot. Either that or it's just your, superhero name. Okay, so we talked about what to do with little recall, and we talked about what to do with no recall. So let's talk about what to do with good recall. This should be easy, but well, maybe not easy, but I love it. Alter ego, nice. I'm much more motivated because I know I got to that level by myself without any supplements. Right, I don't like supplements. I really like, but if they actually were supplements, like in the actual traditional sense, right? Like I take protein powder, right? So that I make sure I get enough protein in my day. If it was an actual supplement, that's how supplements work. It's not like they just stop working over time. So these things aren't supplements. They are a tiny little boost with maybe some negative repercussions, and they don't work consistently. And if you use them consistently, they get worse. Like protein powder doesn't do that, right? It's like, oh, well, you use 23 grams of protein today and the next day and the next day. Now you're only getting like, half of its value from it. That's not how protein works. So that's why I don't like the idea of them being supplements. Now, some things like tea or things like that, they might actually help overall, but they also just might help calm you down. They might just be like a mental trick. Like that just helps you to get things. Now, I used to use mental tricks all the time. Whenever I see the moon, my mind still thinks about dreams, which is one of the reasons why I got this. So hard to do the reverse. This tattoo. Another one's because my wife has sun. I got the moon. She knew I liked moons already. But I love moons, and the moon reminds me of dreams. It was the first big dream goal I ever did. And so before bed, a lot of times I would just go outside and stare at the moon for like 5 or 10 minutes and think about my dreams. And so I would think this was a huge boost to my recall. But what it was is it was using my dreams and using something in waking as a catalyst for intent. So if you have good recall, I would say you're waking from 3 dreams a night. Now, some people don't wake up from every dream and they still say they're having those dreams. Like Red, I cannot for the life of me understand his sleep schedule, but the way that he talks about dreams and just everything he says, it just seems like he's that much different from me. Tattoo the Omni Lucid logo next proof. Yeah, I'll just put it right like here. It'll be beautiful. Nice feet. I don't know who you're talking about. How did you see my feet? This is a hand, man. So, all right. So if you have good recall, and so let's say you're waking from 3 dreams a night, this is good recall, and you could probably get to the point with good recall that you are having a lucid a night, right? Just waking 3 times a night. And I'm not saying waking. You thought it was my foot, man. I am not that flexible. Like my legs are like crisscross underneath me. No, I'm not going to show my feet on stream. I would need need some monetary gain from that probably. No, I actually, whenever I was 2 years old, I threw a brick and it hit my foot, my toe. So one of my toenails has got a huge scar through it. It's split in half. So my feet aren't very pretty. They're not the kind that people pay to see. I'm not a foot model. Yeah, so if you have good recall, like I said, 3 dreams a night. Like I think Toga wakes from 3 dreams a night and remembers fragments of the rest, right? Toga often gets, a lucid dream almost every night, if not multiple. It's a good recall, right? It's not something to it's not something you're going to struggle with, especially if those 3 dreams are like near the end of the night where it's easier to get lucid anyways. Like the first 4 dreams of the night, or first 4 hours of the night, they're harder to get lucid during for most people. And so remembering those dreams is definitely less important. Now, I like remembering them. I'm lucid in them, but I like remembering them because I feel like it still is giving me extra, extra experience, extra hours, extra ideas on what my dreams are going to be like, and increasing the chances of me getting lucid later. So I always liked remembering dreams as early as possible. Yeah. So I actually I like increasing recall to the point where every single time I ever wake up, if I am woken up 5 minutes after I go to sleep because my kid wakes up, I'm waking up from a dream, and I remember that dream, and I would have remembered that dream had I not been woken as well. I just wouldn't have been able to say exactly that it was 5 minutes after going to sleep. So I always recommend getting your recall higher and higher and higher. But if you're having you're waking 3 times a night, and I'm not saying that you need to wake from them, but because a lot of people, they say that they don't remember the waking, but they remember how it ended. And it's up in the air exactly what's happening there. I'm gonna go ahead and take this off because it's just distracting me. But so let's say you're there and you have good recall, you can just stop there. And this is going to sound crazy. Hey, Arrowman, if you're going to be growling, you're going to have to go play upstairs, not down here. Okay? Okay? So if you have good recall, you can just stop there. And what I did for a long time, depending on what level I was at, is I would figure out exactly how much work I needed to put into recall every single day to keep my recall at the level that I could still get some lucid dreams. And so what I did was I found out, well, if I just write down 1 sentence about every dream, then I have pretty good recall for that day. But then that night, like when I go to bed, I can still use that recall for mild and use it for things like that. And it seems to carry over and I'm doing fine. And I don't seem to lose as much. But then like 3 days later, I won't remember those dreams that I had 3 days ago unless I really cared about one of the dreams. So which is fine, because like some people are just like, I just want to remember the dreams that I like. But it's getting to that point, right? So I got to the point where only writing down 1 or 2 sentences per dream was fine. And so then I was like, well, what if I just do enough that I get better at recall every single day? And I found out that was like 1 paragraph every single day. Now, keep in mind, whenever I was younger, whenever I first started, I was writing down dreams for 30 minutes every single day. I would wake up and I would write down a page, and then I would fall asleep. I'd wake up and I write down a page. I'd fall asleep and I wake up and I write down a page. Like I would just wrote down so many words about dreams every single day. And I was using a real dream journal at the time. So it's one of those things where like I don't know the exact amount that you need to do these things, but they are it's going to depend on you. And the way that I started out, and I think the way that most people should start out, is to really not just think how little can I get by. Don't think that until you're like settled on where you're at, right? It's how much can I possibly do? So, I mean, people will spend all day trying to do all day awareness to try to increase their dream recall. But if you actually spent like 30 minutes before bed, 30 minutes when you wake up on dream recall, you'd see your dream recall skyrocket. Whoa, that's this way. Yep. So yeah, I feel like that's how it kind of needs to be. Is you kind of need to really, you want to put in as much possible effort as possible in the beginning, so that you can level up so much that you don't need to level up later, right? You're leveling up, so you're at level 10. You're not like level 10 can't get taken away from you. You can always go back to level 10. I was talking to Mizik the other day, and I said, like, she said that her dream recall was bad. Like, it was bad for her. And I said, well, what do you do when your dream recall is bad? Because I figured that she would say something similar to what I do, which it's pretty similar. It's a little different. I cannot remember exactly what she said, but it's not like, oh, I need to spend 30 minutes a day dream journaling. It was like, yeah, before bed, I needed to like set an intent to remember dreams. And then like when I wake up, I actually need to spend some time organizing my thoughts, working backwards through my dreams. And that made it to where she was able to like just increase the recall. And it, for me, yes, it'll be uploaded on my channel later. Bug milk. I don't know if you guys have ever had the chance to get on a voice chat with Bug milk, but you know, he has the voice of like a man, and where it makes me sound like I have like, you know, a girl's voice. It's crazy. Highly recommend it if you have a chance. So yeah, level 10, like dream recall, isn't going to be taken from you. When you have dream recall and you know how to do it, you know the buttons to press, it's just going to take a refresher. It's just going to take, oh, okay, I actually have to put in the energy, but you know exactly where to put the energy in. And so it's actually really one of those things that always keeps me working on dream recall, is the fact that I know that I put in so much energy when I was younger. And if I could put in like just half that energy, yeah, I will be doing some more recall tips later. Right now, I'm just talking about different levels and weird things. I don't know why. It's what popped in my head when I was thinking about this stream. So like, I know where to put in the energy for dream recall. DJ probably knows where to put the energy in for good recall. Like, if he stopped thinking about dreams for 3 months and he came back the next day, within a week, his dream recall could be back up to snuff. That's how it is with me. If I stop working on dream recall, I'm just like, okay, fine. And I'll put in this work. And it's like half the work I used to put in whenever I started. When I started, I needed that extra work to gain the levels. I needed to grind the levels out, right? Get that Sigma grind set going for dream recall. And that looked like writing tons and tons and tons and tons about my dreams, and also reading my dreams over and over, thinking about them, thinking about my dreams throughout the day. If I'm doing dishes, I could think about my dreams. While I was working, because I was working manual labor at the time, I could think about my dreams. Let's see. Let's go ahead and add this in. Now, this one is going to be weird because I think I'm going to talk about some recall tips that some of which you guys may never have heard. But I don't know, maybe I'm crazy. Maybe you've heard them. Recall tips, right? Just the tips, you guys. I wasn't here for the rest of the stream, so I might repeat questions. What do you think is the best way to improve recall? Okay, that's great. That's actually a great place for this right here. So the best way to improve recall, I'm going to say, is really, really simple. It's just putting attention onto your dreams. Now, everything I'm going to say about how to recall dreams is going to be about putting attention onto your dreams. Now, the easiest way to do that for 99% of people is going to be through a dream journal, because it is it's a physical manifestation of your dreams, a physical manifestation of your attention on your dreams. And if you lose a dream, you can go back and put attention on a dream that you otherwise would have forgotten. Now, I'm not saying that my dream recall is like bad, that I'll forget the dreams I had yesterday or the day before yesterday, but I don't know what dream I had 3 weeks ago on Tuesday 3 weeks ago. I have no idea. But if I had a dream journal, I could look that up. I could check out that dream. I'd be like, oh, well, I forgot like 4 of these dreams. There was one dream that I had. It was like my first lucid dream. Like, that was like a real good lucid dream. Something amazing happened in it. And I had completely forgotten one time. I've since re-looked it up. I'd completely forgotten how I got in lucid in it, which is crazy because it was the catalyst for me starting to lucid dream. And I had forgotten that. And had I not dream journaled it, I would have remembered it incorrectly because I had been telling people about it and I was telling them incorrectly. So the best way to improve recall, the easiest way I'm going to say is going to be a dream journal. The best way is going to be attention to dreams. Dream journal is a way to do that. Now, it might seem like I'm like splitting hairs there, but every tip that I'm going to give you is going to go through, and I'm going to tell you how it is attention to dreams, right? It's going to be something that's going to bring your mind back to your dreams, not dreams in general. Now, I think this is really important. This is my biggest recall tip, is reading Who Gives Dream Journal does not help me get dream recall. Dream recall. Yo, I don't know who that is. I'm not going to attempt at saying it. Yeah, do you guys know who this is? I forgot I can do that. I'll put those up whenever I'm answering questions here in a minute. Yeah, so what was I saying? I lost my train of thought. It's all attention to dreams. It's all, oh yeah, so dream journal is going to be the best way to do it. And so I'm going to give you some tips on what to do without a dream journal. I stink a lot. Oh, that's not very nice. Yeah, I'm going to give you some tips on what to do without a dream journal and what to do with a dream journal. So the first thing you want to do, what I would say the big tip that I don't see many people saying except for me, is to make it so that your first thought upon waking up is on your dreams. Right? So when you wake up, I was talking about who keeps dream journal. Yes, you're right. Oh yeah, so I was basically saying these things don't help dreams. Like reading someone else's dream journal, planning. I don't know what time it is in Kazakhstan. Anyways, planning my dreams ahead, that doesn't help me with dream recall. Thinking about all the things that I want to do in dreams doesn't help me with dream recall because they're not actually my dreams. What does help me with dream recall is thinking about my dreams, attention to my dreams. So, so the first thing is make your attention to your dreams be the first thing that you think about as soon as you wake up. Now, if you wake up and then your alarm goes off, or your alarm goes off, it wakes you up, you hit your alarm, click, and then it's been 20 seconds, then you are going to be like, you're 20 seconds behind, basically. You're losing 20 seconds of good recall there. That's like the easiest and best time to recall dreams, and you're missing 20 seconds. That's one of the reasons why I really recommend waking up without an alarm for most people, if you can do it. So the first thing you want to think about. Now, if you're struggling to recall dreams, you're very, very low level, you really want to move that time back as far as you can, as close as you can to dreams, or to when you woke up. You want your first thought to be that. So if it's your third thought, then be like, okay, tomorrow night when I wake up, or tomorrow morning when I wake up, I'm going to move it back. It's just going to be my second thought. Then tomorrow morning when I wake up, it's going to be the first thought. And what's going to happen in my mind is you're going to want it to where your first thought isn't waking up, it's before you wake up. And I think that's how it works for a lot of people, is it just keeps going back and back and back and back. Because like I don't, it hasn't been this way for a long time. I don't wake up. I do quite a bit of dancing for entertainment. I do quite a bit of so I don't wake up and then think, oh man, what was I just dreaming about? That thought doesn't cross my mind anymore. I am in the middle of a dream, I'm doing something, and then all of a sudden I'm waking up and I'm like, oh, okay, I guess I'm waking up now. That's how my dreams end. People ask me, how do your dreams end? Do things collapse? Do things break down? No. Usually I'm in my dream and then, oh, I'm waking up. And then I'm like, okay, well, since I'm waking up, I'll write down my dreams. I'll do some things. And so it's not like there's this big blank spot and I wake up and I remember my dreams. So, first thought when you wake up. I think that's really helpful for people that start. The second thing you're going to want to do is start learning how to wake up intentionally. And this can just be remembering your nightly wakings. And I'd say that's the intent that most people need to have. And the easiest way to do it is just think about times that you woke up during the night before you go to bed and be like, I want to do that. I want to wake up. Like, I know I'm going to wake up a few times tonight. I want to remember those. And another easy way is the water technique. Just drink some water before bed. You'll wake up and you'll have to go to the bathroom. And because you have to go to the bathroom, you remember that waking. I used to think that people woke up in the middle of the night because they had to go to the bathroom. But upon research, they just remembered those wakings because they had to go to the bathroom. So the water technique is a good technique to start out remembering those night wakings. And I used to do it even if I was like, oh, well, I'm only gonna get 6 hours of sleep tonight. Or no, not 6. It's like I only got like 4 hours of sleep yesterday. I'm gonna be tired, but I'm getting 8 hours tonight. I'd like to remember a few wakings. But I knew that I couldn't wake myself up before 4 hours unless I drank some water. So that water helps with waking up even earlier in my mind. If you have, I had 3 wake back to beds at that point, And I was like, if I drink some water, I could get a 4th or a 5th or a 6th wake back to bed. Micro wake back to bed. It's not like a 2-hour wake back to bed. If I did 6 2-hour wake backs to beds, I'd be sleeping and wake back to bedding every single hour of every day. So that's one. That's another tip, basically. The other tip I'm going to say is to have a routine. So when I wake up, I know exactly what I'm going to do. When I go to sleep, I know exactly what I'm going to do. I have the same routine every single time I go to sleep and every single time I wake up. Oreo calls this the dream recall ritual. And I think this is really important. I think that this is what's going to get it into your head that this is important to you, is because you're going to do it every single time, every single day. Before you go to bed, I'm doing these things because I want to remember dreams. When you wake up, I'm doing these things because I want to remember my dreams. And I think that helps really get you into the mindset. And so, like, working on dream recall, working on intention for all of these things, it doesn't take energy for me. It used to take energy. It used to be like, okay, before bed, I need to spend 5 minutes of focus and attention doing this. But now it doesn't take any energy because it's a routine, right? It doesn't take energy to brush your teeth unless you don't brush your teeth, right? Whenever you're a person that brushes your teeth before bed every night, you don't have to stop and think, am I going to go brush my teeth tonight? No, you just go and do it because it's part of the routine. Routines make it to where energy is not lost, right? And then that energy is the same energy that you're using for your motivation. So if you have a routine, you don't need to worry about it. Well, what's his name? Glitch. He has a routine for waking up and dream journaling every single morning. He's not trying to lucid dream very hard, but he's had that routine for like 13 years. It does not take any energy for him at all. He just wakes up and he does it. That's how he starts his mornings, right? So for me, I wake up and I go to sleep at the same time, and I actually practice it a lot more than most people would because I wake up and go to sleep 7 times a day. So that means that I practice my routine 7 times every single night, and that makes it to where it's going to become less energy very quickly. Now, waking up those 7 times might be difficult for a lot of people, but it's something that my sleep evolved into over time, and it works really well. I say waking up 7 times because I count the last waking. I do the same waking every time I wake up, as well as the last waking throughout the night. So ritual's good, and symbology or placement or something like that is really good. So I would say if you have a dream journal, like a full-on accurate dream journal, look like this, has dream journal on the name. Whenever you grab that thing, your mind is going to be getting itself into a place where you're going to think about remembering dreams. I'd say that's one of the positives with a dream journal over a dream journal like this one. So I would recommend, if you are at very low levels, you're really struggling to raise your dream recall, then something like a written dream journal can help, because I think actually having that solid thing can help. Now, it would be better if you could have one that was so thick that you would never need to replace it, because that book in your mind would be your dream journal. Or if you could make it to where the book looked the exact same every time, I would say those things can help. Every time I do a wake back to bed, I forget to do the file technique. I've talked to Zedvi about it before, about his file technique before. Actually, on my video, the one that talks about how terrible filed is, we talked about it because he actually has had it. So filed is a DEILD technique. So that means that in my mind, not only does it, I don't like DEILD except for after lucid dreams. I don't tell people not to do it because they can get lucid from it. So I think it works well for some people. And when it works, it's okay. It's a bit of a trick to get lucid. Filed is the same way. DEILD is the same way. If you do filed every single night, once a night, you could get some filed from it probably, or DEILDs, if filed isn't the anchor that you're using. But if I do mild every night, or if I do socialed every night, I get better and better at those techniques, and they branch out into other things, and it doesn't interfere with my recall. That's one of the reasons I don't like DEILD. It's because I feel like a lot of times people use DEILD as an excuse to not recall dreams. So that's one of the reasons why I don't recommend it extremely well. Specifically filed, because filed is like, I'd say the anchor probably works for some people, but explaining filed as a technique by in and of itself is like, do step 1, 2, and 3, and if they don't work, try again. 1, 2, 3, if they don't work, try again. There's no room for changing things around. Now, if it works for you, I do have a rule, which is if something works, you spam it. You just keep doing it over and over and over, and you figure out the extent of which it works, the extent of which it helps everything. Okay, so a symbol or a placement, like, so if you recall your dreams in the exact same place every day, you can get better recall that way. If you, like, for instance, I told you guys that I used to think about my dreams in the shower, and all my dreams would come to me in the shower. I think that's pretty helpful. That's what a lot of people are looking for. Now, again, it only works if you can remember some dreams, but I think that'll help. But then there is a symbol, right? So let's say I took a symbol. Let's just look at my symbol for my like my dream recall, or not my dream, my channel, right? That symbol actually doesn't have any meaning, right? It's just that and then a little line. If I looked at that symbol and I said, this symbol is for dream recall, right? And every time I remembered a dream, I looked at that, right? So like, just wake up in the morning, I had that, like, I could just put it on my ceiling. I could put it on my wall, look at that symbol, and I say, this, I'm going to remember a dream, right? This, and think about my dreams during it. And before bed, I would think about my dreams while looking at that symbol. That can help make a catalyst for my dreams, especially for people like it. This is, I guess this is generally, if you have good recall and you're trying to get it to better and better and better and better. So yeah, that's I would say something you guys could use as an easy way, or you could use like I use, the shower, the color of the shower, something like that. You associate the idea of remembering dreams with something else, and it works. So let's look at a couple other ways to help recall dreams. So if I didn't remember dreams when I was younger, what I would do is I would keep in mind the feeling of remembering something. And I would keep that in the center of my mind, right? And I would leave it empty. I'd be like, oh, I'm going to remember something. I want to remember something. And I would go back through what I did the previous day. And I would say, yesterday, I woke up, I went to work, I stopped at, Quick Trip and got some food. I ate this, and then I'll just go and see what comes up. And as I'm doing that, usually a dream will pop up. And as soon as a dream pops up, I will focus not on the memory of the dream, but on the memory of the thing yesterday that triggered the dream. And I don't know if that thing actually triggered the dream or if I make that connection there. But this was a great way for me to learn how to not just pull one dream out. They're like a part of a dream. But whenever I did that, it was like I could just keep pulling and pulling the same thing so that I would get more and more out of a dream. Yeah. So I'd say trying to try to recall a dream and think back through your previous day really helps. And again, if you can remember previous wakings through the night, that's a good way to do it. One thing Mizik said, and I think it's the same way that I've always recalled dreams, and so it's really weird to me that other people do it the opposite way, is I don't remember my dreams front to back. I remember them back to front. So I go from, I was doing this, and before that I did this, and before that I did this, before that I did this, before that I did this. I think I'm going the wrong way for you guys. Yeah, this. No, I went the same way. Anyways, so I would try to connect my memory at the time, my waking memory, this is where I'm at, and I would try to bring it as far back into the dream as possible, and remember step by step what I did. Now, I think this is good because I think it exercises my memory from that point. Now, what was really cool was a lot of times in the dream, I'll make decisions based on things that happened earlier in the dream. And I think a lot of that comes from working on this short-term memory, working on this memory of things that happened recently. And I think you could probably, I've never done this, but it seems like it would work. You could probably do this during your waking life too. What did I do before that? 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 Go through your whole day. And then, actually, I guess I did used to do that. I used to do that before I went to bed because I thought it would help with dream recall. And it kind of did, but that's a different story, different tip. But yeah, pulling up dreams backwards from the time they ended to the time that they started, and see how far back you can get. And a lot of times it's hard because people want to do the story structure of their dreams, which is interesting. I don't know. Like, I guess my story structure has always been, I did this before that, I went to here before that, and so it kind of just goes backwards. What's nice is since I dream journal every waking, then it still follows that structure. It's just kind of like, it's kind of, I don't know, it's kind of a weird structure because every waking is in order, but then every dream is backwards. Yeah. And then, of course, if you wanted to, you could do it backwards, write it down backwards, and then rewrite it down forwards in more of a story format. Rewriting your dreams is the next tip. I have yet to find a point at which dream journaling stops helping. And I think that's crazy. I mean it as in, like, if I dream journal my dreams, and then I turn around, I think about my dreams again, and I dream journal them again, it doesn't seem to have diminishing returns at that point. It took, like, I want to say like 2 hours of dream journaling a day. If I dream journal for more than 2 hours a day, I would finally start seeing diminishing returns for my dream journaling. And one thing you can do, I think, is, again, it's ridiculous, is rewriting your dreams. If you wake up and you don't have any dreams, write the dreams from the day before. People wonder, like, why would that work? And I mean, it works the exact same way that dream journaling works. It just works, you're pulling up dreams and you're writing them down. You're thinking about your dreams. It's attention to dreams is what we're looking for. Let's see. Yeah, I always have, like, the same mental state that I go to when I'm trying to pull up more and more dreams. I highly recommend getting used to that. So last recall tip for now, and then we'll move on to the last question. And any questions you guys have. Nobody's been commenting lately. It's scary. It's weird whenever I'm doing this and no one's commenting. Like, it feels like I keep looking at the view count and wondering if everyone is gone. Anyways, so the last tip is journal your day. And I know, like, that a lot of people don't want to hear this. They don't want to hear me say write more. But before you go to bed, I feel like your day is going through. Oh yeah, no, you're good. Fix the dyno. Get all those tips in there. Just listening to a good lecture. Thanks. I feel like a lot of it's so rambly. So a lot of people don't want to hear me say write more. And I think it's interesting because, again, it takes energy to write down. But if you get it into a system, like your ritual, then it doesn't hurt as much. It doesn't take as much motivation from you every single time you do it. And you can put that energy, the motivational energy, into other things. Now, of course, dream journaling 2 hours a day is probably going to take motivational energy. So if you are struggling, then maybe not the best time to start that. For my voice to trigger a spontaneous lucid dream. Are you going to sleep, DJ? Oh, I love doing. Oh, okay. I actually have another recall tip after that, which is, I love this one. So if you are struggling with recall, I would highly recommend putting most of your focus into the thing that takes the least amount of energy and is the most effective. And so that, in my mind, is just going to be dream journaling and then reading your dream journal, or dream journaling again, dream journaling better. And that's if you remember some dreams. And day journaling, I think this clears out your mind and makes it to where those first 4 hours of dreams are going to be a lot easier to recall. I'd say day journaling, or at least just going through your mind, full waking up. So if you go through your mind and think, okay, well, what did I do today? And you kind of just put it all to rest, like, okay, this and this and this. That there's a type of meditation. I forget the names of, like, everything. I am the worst with names. There's a type of meditation where something comes up to your mind and you just let it go, right? Like, it's like catch and release. And you just kind of let the day's worries deal with themselves. I highly like that. Doing that before bed, I'd say that's a great way to make sure that those thoughts don't come in and interfere with your dreams as much, because you catch them before that. And it makes it to where dream recall the first 4 hours of the night is going to be a lot easier. And it's one of the things that I've done to make it to where it's easier for me to get lucid those first 4 hours of the night as well as wild. Because if I have a lot of really intense thoughts coming into my mind, I'm going to really, really struggle to realize it's a dream inside the dream. There was a time whenever I had like this nightmare. I had something bad happen in waking life, and I could not focus my intent for like a week. It was just like every time I thought, if I sat down and thought for a second, this thing would come into my mind. And it just like, I was struggling. When I woke up in the morning, it was the first thought on my mind, and it was upsetting. And so now this can happen for good things and for bad things, and they can both get in your way of recalling your dreams, in my mind, right? You wake up, it's my birthday. And you know, all your dreams are just gone. Especially, and this is also something I found is really, really taking its toll, is for me, I have 3 children. So, I mean, my kids wake me up all the time. So I've gotten to the point where when I wake up, my mind like puts like my dreams on hold, because usually I don't wake up on my own in the morning. In the morning, I wake up because my kids wake me up an hour before I want to get up, which is at like 7. So they wake me up, and I'm like, okay, here's your dreams. Just leave them there. Go back to them after you go. And, you know, before it was change diapers and get breakfast ready. But now it's like, you know, get a few things set up for them while they are doing this. And then I will go back and try to remember my dreams after that. But that's just the last waking, which I can't change that. It's one of those things. So I'd love to wake up a little bit earlier. Yeah, I could set my alarm for 6:30, but I was just up until 3 o'clock last night with the youngest kid. So I can't really just keep waking up earlier and earlier. I need sleep more than I need recall. So let's go to, oh wait, crap. I had an idea of what I was going to share. Crap. I forgot. Well, I have one last thing. One last question for everybody. Should I stop dream journaling? Because I think that some people have gotten to a point where, maybe not many, but they've gotten to a point where their dream journals feels like a chore. They don't feel like they feel like they can put in the energy to remember their dreams without the dream journal. And I think DJ is one of those that like, he doesn't need the dream journal. It just helps. Or maybe it doesn't even help. But the DJ is just like, it's not there to help with recall. And so the question is, should I stop dream journaling? And I'd say this is going to depend a lot on you. I don't dream journal right now. And a lot of people don't think that that's a good idea. So they're like, well, will a dream journal help you? And yes, a dream journal would help me. I'd probably remember more dreams, or more of my dreams, more details of my dreams. I'd be able to use it for incubation, which I haven't talked about how to use Dream Journal for incubation recently, but audio Dream Journal makes it easy. Audio Dream Journal does make it easy. Yeah. I should probably do something like that. But lately I've been working on different ways of remembering my dreams without the Dream Journal. And I did share a couple of those today. Stop every month and to re-improve it. I don't know what you mean by stop to re-improve it. You mean start it every month or 2 to re-improve it? Like if it goes down and down and down? Or you mean stop every month or 2 to get better at dream journaling? I'm not sure what that means. Yeah, this is the question. Look, I can do this. I think that's cool. I don't know. That makes me happy, like on the inside. Anyways, so yeah. Should I stop dream journaling? People say, you know, you could, like, won't it help your recall? Will it help your dreaming? And yes, it would. But so would 400 other things. I've done a lot of things over the last almost 10 years for lucid dreaming. And I know, like, I could spend every hour of every day doing things that would help me lucid dream. But I don't, because I have other things to do. So I look for the most effective things and I do those. Dream journal is very effective for most people, especially if you don't know your brain very well. But I would recommend for 99% of people to keep dream journaling, because at least writing down your progress, stop, then re-improve to when you start getting worse at it. I'm not sure what the point of that is, Sedvi. Like, I don't know why you would get worse so you can get better. Is it like prestiging in Call of Duty? So I'm going to be doing this week is actually going to be a dream journal video. And I'm actually really, really excited about it, because one of my first things 6 months after I started lucid dreaming was how to effectively dream journal. And I've learned hopefully a lot in the last 9 years from that post. But yeah, so I'm going to be posting like a pretty good, decent sized video on how to dream journal effectively. I don't know if it'll get a lot of views, but I think it'll be super helpful to those people that are trying to dream journal and not sure how to use it effectively, how to use it in a way that you're not just writing down your dreams mindlessly and then waking and then, you know, just getting some help. You're like writing down your dreams, you're going to get some help with your recall. But I'm going to say this is going to be how to get a lot of help from it, how to see what techniques you need to use in the future, how to see trends so that, I mean, that's one of the main things with motivation is I think a lot of people don't understand that your lucid dreams and your dream recall is going to look like this, right? Now, the more consistent you are, the less up and the less down it's going to be. But I mean, your life isn't going to always be extremely consistent, right? Like, I mean, like I said, I wake up, I go to bed whenever I can, and I wake up whenever I'm woken up every day right now. So my consistency is terrible. And so I need a lot of ability to recall dreams in order to cover for the fact that I have zero consistency in my sleeping schedule right now. But some people, that consistency is just consistently bad. But other people, you know, they're like, I had 2 dreams one night, 3, 1, 3, 2, 1, 4, 0. And they're not sure. They're like, is my dream recall getting worse? It's like, it's not getting worse. It's just different. Like you need to increase it enough so that, and keep it more consistent so that you can get more and more dreams over time. But you're not going to be able to see these trends if you don't write them down in your dream journal. And so when you hit 0, you won't remember that 4 days ago you had 2 more dreams than you usually have. So having 2 less dreams than you usually have makes a lot of sense, actually. It's just going to go up and down. That's how it works. Yeah, sorry, my legs are killing me. So I would say unless you are at a level where your dream recall naturally, or at least with 5 minutes of attention, can get you a lucid dream a night or something like that, I would say you need to keep dream journaling. Just keep at it. Or if you're, I guess, no, I don't need to say that. I was going to say if you're only doing wild, but you still need dream recall for wild, but it's not as needed. Even though it's needed, it's not needed as much. It's not needed as much to be as consistent. Especially if you've had a lot of lucid dreams, people that when they're in their wilds can actually keep their dream in their brain, even if their dream recall is bad, because they've had more practice with lucid dreaming in general. I just remembered my last dream recall tip. Yes, we're going to go back to that because I like that. We probably got 5 more minutes. So if anybody has a question, now is the time. Last dream recall tip. Now I love this one. This one I think is the most, I'd say it's going to work the best if you're actually doing it during a nap or sleeping in or doing an actual 90 minute to 2 hour wake back to bed, right? And that is going to be headphones and listening to something, or just have some sound playing next to you. I like doing audiobooks. So what happens is I listen to an audiobook and I try to follow along when I'm tired and I'm going to go to sleep. And when you're doing that, you're going to fall asleep at some point. You're going to forget the audiobook. So it needs to be an audiobook you haven't listened to before. You're going to forget the audiobook. So then if you don't recall the dreams, so this is, it's a trick to do if you don't have much recall, and a trick to do if you're working on wild and you're trying to figure out how you fall asleep well. So what you're going to do is after you wake up and you don't recall the dream, you play the audio back and you go from the point that you last remember it. And what's most likely going to happen is that you'll have a point where you don't remember it, and then another point, and then you remember that again, but it's tied to part of a dream or tied to part of how you fall asleep. And it's really good for seeing how your subconscious works, even at a point where you've completely forgotten what happened at that point. I really like it. And I feel like listening to an audio, especially an audio book, and trying to pay attention to it is going to keep you into a lighter phase of sleep, which generally, for most people in general, lighter sleep means easier recall. I slept like a rock whenever I first started lucid dreaming, and within 6 months, I woke up at everything throughout the house. I could wake up anytime I heard anything. I woke up multiple times every night. It's just, I used to think it was something that was genetic, that you wake up, you're a light sleeper or heavy sleeper based on genetics. Yeah, how you're born and stuff like that. But I think now that it has more to do with what you do throughout your day, as well as how good you are at making yourself a light sleeper. I like being a light sleeper, so I stick with it. So yeah, I'm going to end this here. I hope that everybody learned something from it. I don't know if I dropped too many truth bombs or if I just, gave you guys a bunch of information you've heard like a million times. But this is my stream, unless that's a question. What is that? How to wake up without an alarm. Oh, I guess we could go over that. That'll take me a few minutes. So the easiest way is just going to remember. Oh, no, ZV's gone. The easiest way is going to be to just remember your wakings throughout the night. Everybody wakes up like 4 to 7 times per night. I think the average male adult wakes up 6 times a night. That's how many times I wake up. It took exactly this long to fix the Dino tip command. Nice. Oh, you're telling me there's new Dino tips? You did take some things from my stream. Good. Okay, yeah. So waking up without an alarm, the easiest way is definitely going to be remembering your wakings through the night. You generally just don't remember them. So a lot of people, if they just are like, hey, I wake up during the night, and they try to think about it, they will be able to do it. Other people will be able to, will not be able to just say, oh, I want to wake up during those. I want to remember waking up during them. I like the term remember with these because it shows you that they're already happening and you want to remember that they're happening. So before bed, you just say to yourself, hey, I want to remember waking up from my dreams tonight. And if that doesn't work, I highly recommend the water technique, which is drinking some water before bed. You'll remember those natural wakings, and you can do a technique during them. I highly recommend working on recall during them. But also, as you can tell from down here, I like dream recall. Highly recommend it for everybody. And yeah, and the water technique, if you're younger, you may pee the bed. I don't know. I started lucid dreaming at 20, so all of the things that people are super worried about with stuff like that, I just never had anything. But I've heard some 13-year-olds say that they tried the water technique and peed the bed. So I don't know. Proceed with caution. Yeah, we're gonna end it here. I'll talk to you guys later.